Hello everybody and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program, where last episode we had a bit of a kraken issue, but we ended up getting that fixed, and at this point we have a save here, so that's absolutely great. We at this point need to start working on our arm. So we need to have an arm here that can connect to basically anything within reach of the arm, right? So where do we want to attach that? This is something I actually hadn't considered. Maybe I should have. We're going to need to think about how we want this to be built, right? So I think what we're going to do is we're going to hop over to here-ish. I keep hoping that we get in range of this thing. There we go. So we'll hop over to about here. And we've got these servos and such. We're going to get the servos out, and we'll just leave these on the ground for now. We'll get them moved here in a moment. And then we're going to grab these hinges, and we're going to put them on the ground for now as well. I just want them somewhere that's a little bit more easily accessible, right? And hopefully we don't have any krakens while we're doing all this. We need to grab these extendos as well. That's definitely the technical term right there, extendo. That is definitely how that works. It does not want to just place this on the ground. Okay. Well, I guess we'll attach them over here where they're a little bit more easily accessible for right now. So we'll grab this one, we'll put it over here. These are temporary positions, just so that it's a little bit closer. As soon as we're done welding here, we'll head over. Now, I don't really want to be having issues with kicking these around, right? So I want to head off over this direction. One thing that I'm considering doing is building the arm off of here, starting with one of these bad boys, so that it doesn't matter where exactly we end up starting this from, right? So I'm going to jump up, and we're going to need to be fairly careful about this. I do not want to take out that solar panel. We don't have repair kits, so that's going to be interesting, and I'm not sure exactly how the heat situation here is going to go. We'll find out. But I want to just drop this rotation servo right there. Beautiful. That's a start. And apparently my armrest is collapsing. There we go. Cool. Got that fixed in theory. Don't need a repair kit for that one. But all is looking, well, like a start. It's definitely looking like a start. So for now, I would like to have these guys kind of stacked up over here. So basically all I'm trying to do here, ooh. That was interesting. Apparently that thing has a lot more weight when it's just sitting there than when it's attached. Good to know. I was going to be fine with it sitting there, but I guess we'll just position it here for now. We're mostly just looking to get these, once again, closer to up here, right? And for now, we could actually attach these guys up here like this. This is all temporary positioning. So we can move this one up over here. And now this hinge, I do actually want to get properly attached in here. And let's swap over to the actual relay. And let's set this target angle to 0. The motor is currently disengaged. Okay, the motor might be a little bit confused right now. Remote control from vessel. Okay, we don't currently appear to be able to change things on that. That's interesting. I would have expected to be able to. Let's try replacing that. We may need to reload here. Yeah, it's definitely not moving at this time. So, let's check in here. We do have power. We do have a connection with full probe control. So we should be able to move this. Can we move the rotation servo? No. The motor is disengaged. And if we engage that, then this doesn't appear correctly. I don't know. That's interesting. I'm going to try reloading this. I'm going to make a save right here, and I'm going to try reloading this. I'll be back in just a moment. Okay, that took longer than I anticipated, and it was a little bit buggy there, but it's all good. So, we've got this working now. I've built the arm, as you can see here, and it is currently wiggling around a wee bit more than I'd actually like it to do. But for the moment, it's reasonably fine-ish. We're going to have to work a bit on this, I'm sure. But for right now, it's reasonably fine. This is quasi-functional. I actually had to go out and edit the save file because all of these parts were just stuck on locked status in the save file. That's very, very strange, but that is what I ended up having to do. So as you can see, we've got this arm fully built. I hope that that's not going to take out that solar panel. Okay, excellent. It is not. I'm slightly concerned about the strength of this joint here. This does seem mildly concerning. No doubt about that. Uh-huh. I don't know why these joints are able to hold it and this one is not. I wonder if that joint is backwards or something. This joint is also not really able to hold, and it feels like it should be able to. So I think some of these joints may actually currently be backwards. But, oh, now it's going. Okay. Well, that's very strange. Let's put this one in at 90 degrees, or actually maybe a little over 90 degrees. Let's put this one in at like here or so, and we'll see what happens to this guy. Okay, I think it's just the traverse rate was too low, was part of this. Okay, and now this is holding at 141. Cool. This servo is just kind of spinning at this moment. Because the motor is disengaged. Whoa, okay. Well, so much for that solar panel. Luckily, we clip right through this one. Okay, so it looks like the servos are a little bit messed up right now. And unmessing them up causes them to flail about a bit. We need to turn these traverse rates down. That's for sure. This guy needs to get turned down, but it appears to mostly be functional. To be fair, this guy can operate on one solar panel, in theory. Should be fine. So, I would like to repair that solar panel, but that's not a thing that we can do right now. So we're going to need to disengage and re-engage this so that it's actually on. There we go. I want to check here. This guy is engaged. Cool. Traverse rate is down. Okay. So traverse rate for here should be down to like 0.1. This is currently disengaged. It'll need to be engaged. I think we just grabbed onto ourselves here. That's maybe not a bad thing. So we'll allow that for the moment. We'll bring this traverse rate down to 10. Checking in up here. Yes, engaged and at 10. This should be dropped down to 0.10. There we go. That is engaged otherwise. Looks good. This is disengaged. Okay, we'll engage that. Excellent. Engaged and bring this on down. We just need to keep these moving fairly slowly, right? That's a pretty major issue here. It's a little unfortunate that we blew up that solar panel, but it should be fine. We should be able to handle that. We'll bring this down to a traverse rate of 10 and engage that on the alligator hinge. And let's set our target angle down to 90 for now. Cool. This guy will turn down the traverse rate. There we go. And let's release. Release. And disarm. Okay. So let's bring this over to a target angle of 0. We'll see if we take out Bill on the way. No, that clips right on through. Beautiful. Okay, so now I believe all of these parts are correctly activated. That was an exciting endeavor, for sure. So I'll bring this over, and this can be stored straight up, like so. And that's cool. So at this point, we want to head over and attach over here, right? This survey is this servo is pointing almost exactly the correct direction as is. So I'm going to bring this guy on over to 90 degrees, and we'll see how we do on the shifting weight. Okay. That seems to do the trick, and if we were to arm this, it would just grab, as it is right now, I think. We would probably want to rotate this servo over this direction a little. Ooh. Well, okay. That's giving us some wiggling. Oh, because I'm using the alligator hinge. I meant to have the servo, but I guess we'll do that? I'm not sure what just blew up, but I think it was the decoupler that was sitting on the ground here. That's fine. So here we are connected. Now, the convertitron is running, and we can see it's overheating. So I want to extend these radiators for right now. And we'll see if this still continues to overheat. I'm hoping that the radiators get that under control. It doesn't exactly seem to be doing the trick. Good to know. We can definitely be mining here. And I guess we'll see what this core temperature caps out at. Now, we have this radiator over here, right? I don't suppose we can grab that and reattach it. I don't think we can. Let's find out. Let's send Bill over. Now that we have this arm broadly working, that'll be absolutely fine. And this arm can go and attach to things in a very complicated direction, and theoretically quite a long ways away. But I want to come over this direction and just take a quick look here. I'm pretty sure that we actually can grab this. Interesting. What could we attach it to? Where was it attached originally? I don't know. For now, let's attach it here. And let's just make our way up a little bit. Ah, Bill hit his head. Come on, Bill. Come on down. Oh, he is apparently very stunned. Okay, we were auto-saving. Sure. So let's jump on up. And I want to park right up on top here. It is wild that I had to go into the save file to get that all done, but sure. So now we're going to see if we can grab this and attach it somewhere up here. What if we were to simply attach it there? It's kind of clipping in. I'm actually shocked that this thing still works. Okay. What do we have here? Hey, that core temp is dropping. Beautiful. So obviously, if we're going to be flailing around the arm, we're going to want to retract these radiators. There's no doubt about that. Let's warp forward a little bit here. And, I mean, we can see that the liquid fuel is, in theory, going up. I'm not sure where exactly it's putting the oxidizer, but if we look in here, we can see we are getting liquid fuel and oxidizer. It's just going to take a very, very long time to do this. Ah, the oxidizer is going into this Rockamax Jumbo 64 tank, exactly where we don't want it to be going. If we were to come off of Time Warp here, and that does cause things to jiggle about a bit. One thing I'd kind of like to do is open up this hinge a little bit to set us back on the ground over here. Okay. Maybe not that much. Maybe like 10 degrees. Sure. Okay. How much of a jump do we have here? A little bit. You know what? I'm going to put this guy right back on 0. Cool. So we're going to just hold this here. And I want to check to see if we do this, does that stop the oxidizer from going into this tank? Yes, that's exactly what I wanted. Okay, cool. We're going to move the oxidizer out of this tank. We don't want that oxidizer in there at all. So we want to forbid oxidizer from going into this tank. Every other tank oxidizer is completely fine to go into. And this is going to take quite a while and have a bit of a risk of krakening. So we're going to quick save here. And now we're going to need to warp as this gets that finished up. Now, nighttime, we're not going to have a lot of fuel production. We need to keep that in mind. But we can certainly warp on through as we get this fuel going. So this is at 1000x. We can see it's still not coming through very quickly here. Are we actually mining here? We are. Okay, the ore is dropping, so these two are not keeping up with the full ore production. That's interesting. So we can see our electric charge beginning to drop. Now, most of the electric charge is contained in here. Very little is actually held here, and that's acceptable. So we're going to run out of electric charge relatively swiftly here. But we'll see if this is an... Oh, that got very dark. Okay, now it's no longer very dark. Cool. We're going to run out of electric charge as we work our way through this, right? Insufficient power shutting down. So, unfortunately, I think we're going to have to reactivate these every morning. Maybe? I think it's the mining equipment that we have to reactivate. Okay. Cool. So we can see that we did get a decent amount of oxidizer in that time. But this is going to be a while to get this fully charged up. No doubt about that. Let's try leaving it on warp and seeing if it... Yeah, we're definitely not bringing this up. And the reason for that is entirely due to the miners. Okay. So the miners are going to need to be continually redone every time the sun comes up. That's going to be a wee bit tedious. No doubt about that. Okay. I'm just looking at these right now and thinking, when do we want to start having some of these take off? Now, I kind of want to leave one of these here at all times. I think that's going to be the best way to run this. So we would have 3 of these docked up at the station, and then one of them would be here, and whenever we need more fuel, we just swap them. So we would land another one over here somewhere, attach up with the arm, get that mining, and then this would go up and go back to the station. That's the idea. So we need to get one of these full, and I'm pretty sure that we can do that right now. So we can pin these bad boys open, like so, and then we can come in here and we can say, ouch. Cool. Are we actually mining right now? Yes. Okay. So we can say, ouch. There we go. And we are slowly building this up, right? But we can continue to... We have to come out of warp to start all of these. That's a little bit tedious. But we can come up here and work on filling these up. And then we can separate this guy out by himself. And that'll be exactly the goal here. So this is going to be a little bit to get this all done, right? No doubt about that. But we can get started on it here. Cool. So those transfer out relatively quickly. But there's a lot of fuel that needs to be moved here. No doubt about that. So we're going to do all of this. Now, I also want to detach this decoupler with our engineer before we actually leave here. We'll see how viable that is. But I'd like to do it that way. So we're going to move these guys on out of here. We're just moving all of our fuel over for now. So that's all the liquid fuel that we can hold there. We still require additional oxidizer here. Okay. That's all of the oxidizer that we currently have. We're short a tiny amount of oxidizer. So it's like 19 oxidizer? Sure. Let's warp forward a little bit, and we'll build up some amount of oxidizer here. Okay. That should be sufficient oxidizer to get one of these going. So we would move this on out. There we go. And now this guy should be ready to be detached, in theory. This might create some krakening. We'll see. I'm going to quick save here, just in case. We want to detach this decoupler. Things might get a little weird here. Speaking of weird, why are you standing on the solar panel? Please do not do that, Bill. Please do not stand on the solar panel. Okay. So we're going to head over this direction. I want Bill to fly his way on up here. And I want him to park not on this stack here, which this is a stack with fuel, right? I think. But we can't actually see from here. I want him to park on a nearby stack. Like so. Now we go back over to this thing, and... oh, he is on the stack with fuel. Okay, Bill. You're going to have to move. Bill? Okay. The RCS wasn't working for a moment there, but then it started going. Okay, so Bill's just going to stand here. And his goal is, of course... if we can swap over to here. His goal is to remove this decoupler, but I'm hoping that we don't have this thing tip over. Let's see. Okay, Bill? He's not grabbing that decoupler, it seems. We're definitely tipping over a little bit. We're more sliding, though. Sliding is fine here, actually. I'm concerned about this solar panel. That's for sure. I actually want to set MechJeb to holding up here. So that's the idea there. Now, this is not the one that lost a solar panel. That's fine. So, we appear to be stabilizing here. Bill, I would love it if you could grab this and remove that. He does not seem amazingly capable of this. Let's head over here and see if we can fly down. Why is this, like, heading back into... okay, whatever. Okay, let's just position right over here. No, we don't seem to be able to grab that. That was just a cosmetic thing that was the reason why I wanted to grab that. So, we're going to come on up here and grab. Do we want to move this? I feel like it's in danger. So I'm going to move it over to here. Now you can hop in. Cool. And this guy should be completely ready to take off. So I want this to be on kill rot for right now. What is our thrust to weight? 4.29? Sure. For now, let's just get out of here. Okay. Beautiful. We're going to head over to up. And we're going to go to kill rot here, and we're going to go over to the 90-degree marker. I'm keeping an eye on that apoapsis height. We want to target somewhere around 30-ish kilometers. But we are out of here with our first load of fuel. Oh, these are all independent. Okay. That's fine. Now, we should also consider extending this solar panel. which of course one of these landers no longer has access to. And that's okay. Not the end of the world there. Keeping an eye on that apoapsis height, but it should be quasi-okay at this point to make our way over here-ish. Cool. So here goes our first load of fuel. Of course, we're going to burn some of this fuel off. That is fully expected. It costs fuel to get fuel to the station, but it shouldn't be all that much fuel. We should be entering orbital velocity very, very, very soon here. We just swapped into orbital mode, and we are burning full horizontal at this point. We could go for horizontal velocity up, and that would be absolutely fine. And clearing one of these out of there does actually buy us quite a bit of extra space, so that's great. We can see that we have a 30-kilometer orbit, which is really all that we need here, and we're just going to circularize that, and we'll bring that on up to the station. Looks like we don't have time to bring that on up to the station this episode due to the mechanical problems with the arm, but now that those are fixed, that's looking great. So we'll just get into position here. I was hoping to remove this for aesthetic reasons, but it's fine. So it'll take us about 67 meters per second to get into orbit. That seems absolutely fine. No real problems here. And let's warp our way forward a little bit. Overshot slightly, but it's okay. I'm not too concerned. So we'll get this thing into orbit, and next episode, we're going to be bringing this over to the station, and we're going to be bringing our others over there as well. I'll probably leave this warping for a while off camera so that our fuel is relatively good to go. We'll see how that ends up going. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Atala, Shadowwolf, MLoHunt80, Rogue Corvid, Kentogan, Andy McGar, Spartan News, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Soccerman12 UK, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.